Hey there, everybody. It's Adam with What's Poppin' in Pattaya on the last week of April 2023. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. And also, just to remind everybody, this comes out every Friday night. So put that in your schedule, put it on your calendar so you can know what's going on right here in Pattaya. Now, we're going to start, as we always do, with the upcoming events and things to know that are happening in and around our area. This weekend is actually a holiday weekend in Thailand. It's Labor Day. Now, they're not doing any really crazy events or anything in Pattaya for Labor Day, although what it is expected to be is, as is usual for these extended weekends, because for most Thais, especially Thais working government jobs, etc., they're going to get an extra day off. Labor Day itself is Monday, May 1st, so people have a 3-day weekend. And where do you think everybody from Bangkok is going to go? That's right, they're going to come here and go to the islands and visit scenic Pattaya, the #1 family tourist destination in Thailand, according to authorities. I'm sure I'll get some comments on that one. Anyways, this is Labor Day weekend, so expect the city to be very busy with domestic tourists, all jokes aside. On May 7th, there will be a BMX jam at Bali High from 2 o'clock to 7 p.m. This is the first time they've ever done this event, a brand new event in which they'll be doing stunts and shows and everything else. So anybody who loves BMX should make sure that they are at the Bali High Pier on May 7th. Admission is free, and there will also be lots of coffee and food and other things as well for those who want to attend. Now, a little further out, but I will mention it because it's a major event for the city, and their next big event is from June 14th to the 17th. Pattaya will be doing their first ever Movie on the Beach, which will be showing a variety of movies in both English and Thai for basically that entire period of time. Different movies will run throughout the day. Again, admission is free, and there will also be many food vendors up and down the beach for those who want to experience that. Pattaya City hopes that this event is also a precursor to them having a big actual movie festival in Pattaya, a film festival, which they've never done, because by 2028, Pattaya wants to be the hub, I know this is a common word here, but the hub of movie cities in Asia. So that's what's coming up. But the last thing I wanted to comment about, and we're going to touch base at this at the end too briefly, is the first weekend of May, May 6th and 7th, as well as the second weekend of May, the 13th and 14th, we'll see, unfortunately, it's now looking like 2 weekends in a row that those of you who are hoping to go party on Saturday night, well, you might have to make other plans. Because of the Thai elections, the first general election in quite a few years, as a result, the pre-elections are on the weekend of the 6th and 7th, and the actual election is on the 14th. Now, under Thai law, the evening before, as well as the day of until polls close, alcohol sales are forbidden, which means that bars, nightclubs, go-go's, etc. would be closed from about 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. the following day, from Saturday night until Sunday. Now, they don't always close for pre-voting, but the information that we've heard recently is at this time, despite only 3% of the population being eligible to pre-vote, they're probably going to do so. So be aware in advance, especially for tourists. Your weekends will probably be impacted on the 6th and 7th, and 100% set in stone, May 13th to the 14th. Now, our first story today is that the Pattaya Stadium, which has been located in eastern Pattaya and has been under construction and basically a giant white elephant for 15 years, is set to resume, according to the Pattaya mayor. This project has been beset and plagued by so many problems and issues over the past 15 years, from contractors to construction to budgeting issues. But the Pattaya mayor says they're going to put another, after already that millions and millions and millions of baht spent, 400 million baht to complete the project. They state that it's very important that the stadium, which is expected once it is completed, whenever that is, to seat 20,000 people, that this stadium is a major point for Pattaya to become a sports city and attract further sporting events in the future. Also, Pattaya is hoping to host many major Asian Games events later in this decade. So, in the short version, They say it's going to be completed. The comments that we've heard from our readers, there's a lot of skepticism there. We'll see what happens, we suppose. Our next story, if anybody's been out and about in Pattaya over the past couple nights, you probably have not missed the fact that there's a lot of my fellow Americans in and around the city. And that's also driven a lot of comments. That's because the USS Nimitz is on a port call here in the Chonburi area. And as a result, 6,000 sailors have been let loose on Pattaya. Many business owners, especially nightclub and bar owners, have stated that this has been very good for business and very good for the Pattaya economy. Walking Street in particular has been packed every night for the past couple days with U.S. sailors. Luckily, there hasn't been any major incidents, but there was one small incident. We're often told that we don't give enough positive stories. Well, I have one for you. One of the sailors was returning back to his condo when he dropped or his hotel, when he dropped out of his pocket his wallet. And guess what? A motorbike taxi driver found the wallet, and not only did they not keep it, but they did the right thing. They went to the Pattaya police station, turned it in. It had almost 14,000 baht in it, and it was returned to a very happy sailor. So, yes, there is good news in Pattaya. Now, that being said, it's probably not the best way to converge, but unfortunately, we do have some bad news, too. Now, this particular week, and we'd like to give our condolences to the families of the victim, 2 people passed away in a jet ski accident on Pattaya Beach. One of them was an 8-year-old boy. The jet ski accident happened at night at around 8 o'clock p.m., which of course jet skis are supposed to be done racing around the bay when the sun goes down around 6 o'clock p.m. Not only was this notable news-wise because of the 2 deaths and the young boy that died, but it was also notable, unfortunately, because at first the jet ski owner claimed that an Indian tourist caused the incident by colliding into the jet ski with another one and then fled the scene. But police were suspicious of this, looked into the situation, and it turned out there was no Indian tourist. Now, the most recent story is that the accident took place because a wave suddenly knocked over the jet ski, killing both the 35-year-old driver and the young boy. Although we've seen your comments and we've seen many people who stated that they were in the area, and according to them, there were no waves whatsoever in Pattaya Bay that evening. Police state that they're fully investigating the incident to determine what exactly happened and that legal charges will take place against the owner. He's already been fined for the jet skis, which, by the way, were unlicensed. Our second biggest story of the week, and we got a lot of comments and emails about this, was from a young woman who booked a trip at a villa in Pattaya for Songkran, and she booked this through Facebook. It cost her about 17,000 baht that she paid in advance through a Facebook page that had about 17,000 likes as well, so she thought it was reputable. You probably see where this story is going for those of you who are not familiar with it. She and her whole family and friends, all 20 of them, came all the way down from northern Thailand expecting a great Songkran festival, and they found out that they'd been scammed. Now, the villa exists, but the villa is not associated with this Facebook page, and according to the actual villa owner, multiple Facebook pages had been using their villa incorrectly and basically scamming people quite a few times over this villa booking. The lady, and we'll show you her picture here as well, went to police and also the local media, including us, and is asking for police to do everything in their power to try to find these scammers. Police admit, though, that that could be a little bit difficult because, well, unfortunately, they, as you would expect, they immediately shut the page down, they turned off their phone, and they vanished. And Facebook, generally, for privacy reasons, even in crimes, doesn't release the information of people suspected in situations like scams. But police did say that they are going to look into it. Speaking of police looking into things, police were certainly looking into nightclubs this week when they raided both the Panda nightclub and the Hollywood nightclub, 2 extremely popular nightclubs, especially with Chinese and Asian tourists, not so much with Western tourists. Now, this was notable not only because police raided the nightclubs, not only because they checked all the passports and IDs, and by the way, we just want to make this clear. A picture in your phone is okay most of the time, and were for these raids. What they're looking for, if you happen to be out and about, is they're looking for a picture or a laminated card or your passport, if you want to carry it, of not just your passport page, but your stamp. So I want to get that out of the way. Anyways, not only were they looking for that, But they also drug tested everybody in the club, including all the foreign tourists. Each club had about 100 foreign tourists. The majority of them were Chinese. This drew probably the most chatter on our comments of the entire week, with many people stating that, they found this inappropriate, even though it's legal in Thailand, and that it would ruin their night if this happened to them. Thai police, meanwhile, state that they're doing it because they think it makes you feel safe. What do you think? Do you feel safe when you see 100 police come into a nightclub? You're out for an evening out and all of a sudden make you do a drug test? We're curious what you have to say. Tell us in the comments. Now, as always, we wanted to thank you guys for tuning in right here to TPM Media. We love getting your comments and feedback on this format. In the next week, we're also going to talk a little bit more, because we've already talked about how it's going to impact your next couple weekends. We want to talk a little bit more about the elections, but we're going to save that for the next couple videos. And we're not going to talk about all the candidates and everything, because we know most of our viewers can't vote and aren't Thai, although we do have some of you. Hi, we see you. Thank you. But we're going to talk about some of the campaign promises and what you might see changing after the election. Some of the promises have included things like legalizing sex toys. Yes, they're illegal. Ending the 2 o'clock to 5 p.m. alcohol sales ban every day, which, yes, it is still in effect. Or the big one, what is going to happen to cannabis after the election? We know a lot of you care about that. But we'll cover that in future. We might even do a special on it. We'll cover that in future, What's Poppin' in Pattaya. And we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other.